Cottage Part 4. Gonna keep this one short and sweet, but proof's in the pudding, guys. We're on difficulty level 7. This is Wednesday night, so difficulty level 7 will shift over in a couple hours now. My action bar just reloaded 30 minutes ago. I was down to 700, so I'm getting around 12,000 actions per hour. Some of that is from main city, but most of that is just from the villas and cottages that we planted. If you rewind to my previous video, I talked about planting these villas later in the season where I don't really need the coin, and obviously I am not planning villa for coin production. I'm planning them for actions as I start deleting tile houses and consolidating the city into attackability. Full euphoria, and we also have a pretty healthy surplus, so I have the resources as well as the euphoria to plant a bunch of decorations, but have held off on that until now. I don't really need the attack ability either at this point, but I'll probably need a little bit tomorrow. Granted, this is a farming node, so the enemy pairing is a little bit easier than the boss nodes or the garrison nodes. But still, I don't really need the attack ability necessarily right now. I'll probably need some tomorrow though. So this is where we start transitioning out of that plateau phase. Just collect everything. 3 million in supplies builds plenty of hardware, you know. 3.2, 2.8, so I have about a surplus of 400,000 in supplies. This ties into the extra farm strategy where stockpiling on supplies throughout the season makes it easier to delete a farm. And at this point, I've actually probably reached equilibrium on my collections, so I'll just maintain this 400,000 surplus of supplies until I delete all of my farms completely and just keep the houses into the end game. So at this point, even though I have the euphoria to just fill this entire space with decorations, I'm actually going to plant another arch in anticipation of the next round of deleting farms. And you guys watch me on the map. I don't really need the attack boost, but proof's in the pudding, guys. I've walked you through this season, and you watched me plant all of the villa that I have from Tile House on 10 expansions, and I do have some ascended boosts that help jumpstart this season, but it's the same tactic every season. So I haven't bought shards or bought actions with shards, obviously. And then my next goods expansion, if I was to purchase it with shards, would be 250. So I buy 3 with shards, and the rest come from goods. So proof's in the pudding, guys. The cottage system is actually pretty reliable. It's exponential growth on the first 2 days. Maintain your plateau, stockpile some resources, and just continue stockpiling them. Like, no one needs 8 farms. No one needs 8 farms. But if I don't need the attack ability, I might as well fill that space with resources, so that when I do need attack ability, I've already generated however many resources from that building, and the last few farms that I plant, I don't rush, so it doesn't even cost me shards. It's literally just real estate, and get something out of it for 3 days, and then okay, we got we had one ballista. Yeah. Oh no. Danger zone. Let's plant some attack. Proof's in the pudding, guys. This system is stupidly simple. It scales up quickly and it's easy to maintain. So my Arval, my second world, is a couple collection cycles behind at this point, but it's doing pretty well on the map as well. So hope this is helpful. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Here's the tail end of it. Here's flat mode, so I've deleted all my farms at this point, but still Pretty healthy amount of stockpiled. At this point, I don't need Euphoria to complete this collection because the only thing that we're going to plant is going to be decorations. These are about cooked. I don't really need the coin, honestly. I can wait a minute, but I don't really need the coin because the only thing that we're going to plant is decorations, and the limitation to that quantity is going to be on the supply side, and I have no farms to collect. So at this point, the housing that is currently in the city is just for actions. Don't really need either of those resources. So I'll wait the minute and collect it full Euphoria. Okay, good to go. Full Euphoria. This is going to be my last collection for the season. I'm not usually up at 6 a.m. for, well, it's actually 5 a.m. my time for reset, and I'm not usually awake for that. Fighting is still fine, so I don't really need the attack ability. This is difficulty 11. Don't really need the attack ability. This is a boss node, and we get a couple injuries here and there, but it's not that we need the attack ability. But there's nothing else to build. There's nothing else to do, so might as well delete everything and just go full Hulk mode. I don't know. Sometimes on these higher nodes, like I have a surplus of troops, you know. Sometimes I just like to play around with inferior troop combos. See if we get a enemy pairing that would justify that. Just to see how few, the fewest number of troops that we could get away with. Yeah, that looks like a good one. Let's try 4 ballista, see if it works. You guys think that would work? I don't know. Legionnaires on the ass end. I don't know. That's iffy. 4 ballista, 1 legionnaire. Let's try it. I bet that wins. Yeah. Just for funsies. So at this point, like I said, there's nothing left to build or improve. This is the tail end of the season. I've squeezed out all the actions out of my housing. But take a note here. Essentially, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 villas. Effectively, in terms of actions and coin, we have 11 villas, but on a much larger grid, right? Than what you would normally get from a city designed around building villas early on. I haven't bought actions yet. You guys can see that. I haven't bought. So I bought 3 expansions with shards, but I haven't bought more than that with shards. Everything else in the city, and I haven't bought shards with diamonds either this season. I'm going to buy a set of actions tonight, just because the 1800 shards that I currently have available is more than I really need to restart the next season. I generated like, I don't know, maybe 700-800 in profit this season over what I invested on the shard side. And at this point, we can start deleting stuff and just replace with attack ability. I'm not going to do another collection this season, so I have no need for any of this. If I am awake at reset time, like tomorrow morning, I'll use the actions that generate overnight, but I don't need more than that, you know. As we do this delete cycle, make sure that you keep one house. Doesn't even have to be connected, so I disconnected that one, but make sure that you keep one house. Otherwise it'll mess up your. We have Euphoria now and an additional 4,000 Euphoria to plant decorations, but if you delete that last house, you'll get into neutral happiness, and you hit a wall where even if you have the resources to continue planting decorations, your happiness will not allow it. So make sure to keep one house, which in this case is going to be a cottage. So let me continue filling this up. Well, that's a wrap. 6 empty squares. Check this out. This is funny. Um, so we have extremely. My one disconnected cottage is very unhappy, right? Um, we have the resources to play with this, but look at the jump here. Demand for Euphoria is 100, but as soon as I plant one of those, we're pissed off again. So that's why I said keep the house into this stage. You can try to sell it, you'll reach neutrality. So we're neutral now. It's almost like I knew that would happen. We have neutrality, but don't have the happiness to plant anything, even though it's neutral. There's no citizens to make happy. I have nothing to do with my remaining resources, so I guess we'll replant that cottage and just leave it there. I guess if this is any kind of indication about this strategy, I think this says it all. You can build a QI city like this from a cottage. So proof's in the pudding, guys. If you're able to do this with your villa strategy, using the same shard consumption that I'm using, like if you want to spend a ton of shards on the game, be my guest. But if you're conservative on the shard side, this is a really cost-effective way of scaling up your city quickly and effectively. So if you're able to duplicate this layout with villas, I would love to see that setup. Keep in mind, like all this decoration is unnecessary, right? Because the attack ability that we currently have. Let's try it with 4 ballista, 2 archers. Yeah, we lost an archer. I'm gonna buy actions this season, but either way, I'm gonna run out of actions even after the next batch, before I run out of troops. And so, proof's in the pudding, guys. I'm not slacking on actions, and I haven't bought any this season. The actions that I'm getting just come from the settlement itself. And there's a lot of cottages involved in that process. So if you guys are able to duplicate this with villas, I would love to see the layout. But in the meantime, I'm going to maintain that cottage is actually a pretty good investment. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. That's pretty fun. Will they make it? Oh, so close. One fight short. Absolutely brutal.